Hi everybody, and welcome to the Q&A video. That's right, I'm your host Andrew. No, wait, you know what? This just doesn't feel right. Hold on a second. Now that's better. Hi, I'm Andrew Rhodes. Yes, the Andrew Rhodes. I am the voice behind Web Designer 18. The one that's usually behind the mic doing the Andrew Rants videos, the Andrew's Theory videos, the review videos, and the absolutely completely random podcast. Back in June, I put out a video stating that I will answer any questions that would be submitted to me by my birthday for a Q&A video. Well, I'm happy to say that after a bit of turmoil and going through everything, I have 70 questions that have been asked. 40 from one of my fans and 30 from random people that have seen my videos and everything else. Yes, I will occasionally scratch because I do itch every now and then. And if you hear the noise, it is my fan going, because it's like 90 degrees up here. I'm recording this. It's like 90 degrees up here, so it is hot. So there you go. But that's it. So I got 70 questions to go through. And as I promised, this is my Q&A video. Also, this can count as my facial reveal video for those of you that have been wondering what I look like behind the mic. Yes, my glasses are a little out of whack. I got whacked by a box at work this week, and I'm still fiddling with them, so I do apologize for that. I am fiddling with them because they don't feel like they're sitting right. But this is what I look like. Hi! Yeah, so let me get a little closer. Hi! This is what I look like normally. So you never see me because I'm behind the mic, and there's a good reason for that. I enjoy my anonymity. But I'll explain that a little later on because it's one of the questions. Spoiler alert. So let's get started. I have the questions right here in front of me. So let's get started with the Q&A, shall we? So my first question that was asked to me was how you best describe yourself as a YouTuber. Average, I guess? I never know how to answer this type of question because it's the same thing with job interviews. How do you describe yourself as, like, this type of a person? Or how do you describe yourself? I'm a YouTuber. I don't do things every single day. I do them a couple times a week. I record a whole bunch of stuff. Then I work on putting the videos up and they get spread out. I constantly record, like, audio in that. So, yeah, I don't know how to describe myself as a YouTuber. I'm just basic. That's literally all I am. I'm basic. So, yeah. Sorry it's a short answer for that, but I never know how to answer that. Second question. Love the videos. Why don't you have pictures or clips in them? This is actually a simple answer for this. Copyright clauses. So, and anybody that's ever seen any YouTube videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. A lot of the big name YouTubers have been having massive issues with copyright infringement, copyright claims, and copyright strikes. By not including anything other than stuff that I created myself, like my logos and things like that, I can avoid the hassles of having to deal with any copyright strikes or copyright, claims and things like that. This prevents me from having to deal with the excess of, oh great, I have to go through this, I have to do this, this, and this, so on and so forth down the line. Yes, there are some videos I have up where I do have some pictures in, and honestly, I'm still rolling the dice on those every single day I wake up, go to check my email that, oh crap, here we go, I've been copyright striked, or there's a copyright claim against one of my videos. Has it happened yet? Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. I really, really hope it doesn't happen because that would be a royal pain in the neck for me in many, many ways. But, yeah. So that's why I don't have any videos or pictures, I should say, or clips in any of my videos. It's a simple reason, but it's mine. That's why I do it. Okay, next question. Single, married, or other? Single. Sorry. I'm still on the market. I haven't really been looking for anybody, so yeah, but single. What do I do for a living? I work at a Five Below. There you go. I stack shelves. I stock shelves. I sell some stuff on eBay. That's literally it. Like eBay, Craigslist, and Letgo, and I work at a Five Below. That's what I do for a living. Nothing I can really say about it. It's literally all I do. Is it tedious? Yes. Is it something that I wish I could find a way to do something else? I think everybody does. Show me one person that actually loves their job, I'll show you a person that's probably going mentally insane. But yeah, there's always something. I think everybody always wants to do something better, but you never really know what to do or whether you should do it. I'm happy right now with what I'm doing. Yes, I wish things could be better in my life in general, but as far as work goes, I'm comfortable. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Okay, I love the Andrew Rants videos. Why did you start making them? This is a good question. I started making the Andrew Rants videos because I wasn't happy with Konami wanting to change up the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I had already voiced my opinion on Facebook and Twitter, so much that people were starting to get sick and tired of hearing me or seeing my typed up words. And on Twitter, you only get X amount of characters to make your point. So I thought, why not just make a video? Just call it, I'm just ranting about this, and that was how I started, honestly. Then it just grew out of that. I mean, I just went on a tangent. The second video, I think, was me complaining about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list, and that was honestly because I was just pissed off, and some YouTuber claimed it was a cheap ploy for views, and I just wanted to actually test that theory, and it really wasn't, so, yeah. It honestly wasn't. But, truthfully, I just started it because I was upset about the link summoning mechanic. I wanted it to be something different than what it was, and I wasn't happy with the direction that they were taking the game, and I'm still not pleased with it, fact to be. I play the old school version, then I play against myself, so there's that. But yeah, I'm still not happy about it. Okay, what's the stupidest thing I ever saw? This is actually a good one. It's a fun story. So, when I was going to school, I took the scenic route the one day. This was going up to a tech school, and I'm driving on the one bypass, and it's basically like a highway, but we call it a bypass here. It's not really that big, but and I'm driving on that, and all of a sudden this person just kind of pulls off in front of me. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, I'm going 55, 60, you know, I'm with the flow of traffic at this point, and I'm honestly going, this is fine. Then I think, okay, the person's slowing down a bit. I'm starting to get a little annoyed. People behind me are passing me. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to get to class. So I go around. And as I go around, I look over, because I usually tend to, just to see, you know, if it's like somebody that can't see over the steering wheel, because I've seen a couple like that. Or if it's just somebody that's not paying attention, talking on their phone, what have you. And I never expected to see this. So, as I'm passing the vehicle, I look over to my right, and, because I'm in the left lane at this point, I'm passing, I look over to my right, and it's like, I just was speechless. I saw a guy changing pants while driving. And now, I'm going to admit, he had perfect control of that vehicle, other than slowing down. But I'm like, do I want to stay behind this person or get ahead of them? And I realized, you know what, I'm going to get ahead of them. So I kind of got ahead of them, but I just never forgot that. They were changing their pants while they were driving. I'm not joking on this either. My mom and grandfather refused to believe me, but that is the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life, was a person changing pants while driving. I have seen a lot of stupid things, but that definitely took the cake. Beyond a doubt, that took the cake. Okay. But yeah, that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay. Next question is, subs or dubs? I'm gonna assume you're talking about anime, because a lot of these questions were anonymous, by the way, that were left at random. So, besides the one that I know is from my mom, the rest of these were anonymous. Literally, they did not want their name mentioned, or they just submitted it, and I honestly forgot who submitted it. Because, I'm not joking, I probably either A, forgot, or just don't remember. But subs or dubs, I'm assuming you're talking about anime, really doesn't matter, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not somebody that's going to take one side over the other. Yes, there are some anime series that are better off dubbed, and some that are better off subbed. Sword Art Online is going to be the one that I will always use for the this is better off subbed, because the Japanese voice actors knew what they were doing. The Japanese voice actors had the characters down to a T. Then you listen to the English adaptation of it, and they just feel so wrong for the characters it isn't funny. So honestly, subbed on that one. I can take the rest of them either subbed or dubbed. It really doesn't matter. I mean, I've seen Hunter x Hunter both subbed and dubbed. I've seen clips of it dubbed, and I've seen most of it subbed. I saw the original one dubbed, so there is that. Let's see here. I've seen Dragon Ball Super subbed because I wanted to see it as it was coming out. I patient to a point, and even my patience was gonna run thin at that point. I have seen a couple episodes and clips of it dubbed, so either way, it doesn't really matter. I grew up watching it dubbed, and the subs are just as good. So, honestly, and I'm going to say this, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's basically your own preference at this point. Do you prefer them subbed or dubbed? It's your call. For me, it really doesn't matter. Okay, now here's my mom's question. What type of anime would I make if I had the chance? Believe it or not, I remember this being in a comment on one of my podcast videos, and honestly, and I'm just gonna pretty much repeat the answer from that one, it would pretty much depend on what my mood is. So, if I want to make, like, let's say, mystery type, like a detective Conan, or Hokuwa, something like that, I would have to be in the mood for it. If I want to make, like, a space opera adventure type, like Gundam, or let's go with like a decent adventure type one, like Hunter x Hunter or Dragon Ball or Naruto, I would have to be in the mood. So it honestly would depend on whatever mood I'm in. Though, honestly, I always like the adventure types myself because they're a lot of fun, because you can have them battle or exploring things. Slice of Life's always been another one that I liked, so that'd be like two genres. I'd probably try to like combine maybe 2 or 3 genres together, like a slice of life, action, science fiction type of deal, and do something like that. So it's not a bad idea, but that would be something I would do. So it'd probably be like a combination of the 3. But like I said, I'd have to be in the mood for whatever I'm doing, because if I'm not going to be in the mood for it, it honestly just feels, I'd just be going through the motions, and that just doesn't feel right. Okay, next question is, I read the comments for your videos. What is your beef with reboots and remakes? I mean, they do help the industry. My beef with them is that nobody really ever asked for reboots. So, and I'm going to stress this one. I can actually use Sailor Moon Crystal here for this one. Nobody asked for it to be rebooted. At least nobody that I saw anywhere asked for it to reboot it. Other than the diehard fans that just wanted a continuation, nobody really asked for it to be rebooted. As far as movies go, I didn't see anybody clamoring on social media sites and forums demanding for a new Power Rangers movie. I saw them demanding Nickelodeon stop screwing it up, but I did not see them banging their heads on the ground and on the table begging and pleading for a new Power Rangers movie. I did not see them banging their heads on the table asking for half a dozen Transformers movies. I did not see them. It's basically going on and on and on. Nobody really asks for reboots to be made or for remakes to come out. They're asking for like continuations or standalone stories or just some acknowledgement. Like Teen Titans. Nobody wanted Teen Titans Go because we were thinking it was just going to be a continuation of the original Teen Titans. You have half a dozen other videos and movies and TV shows and just things in general that nobody really ever asked for, yet they were made because they were an easy cash grab. Remakes of like older films, remakes of old TV shows, nobody really asked for them. They were the network's idea to try to cash in on some nostalgia, which is currently what the main draw is. It's let's make a whole bunch of movies, make them nostalgic, really hammer in and make the fans and the viewers swim in that swimming pool of Velveeta just to make them feel good. And it's just supposed to take them back to a time when they were more carefree. And while I applaud that, it still bothers me because nobody's asking for the reboots to be made in the first place. They're not asking for the remakes. They just want you to not let something die. That doesn't mean reboot it from the start. That means let's try something new. A perfect example of this would be all the Spider-Man movies that they came out with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and whoever the new one is. I honestly, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But you have all of those. Or even better example would be DC and their entire, we're going to remake Batman half a dozen times because we're not getting it right. It's Batman. Bruce Wayne's parents die. He becomes a dark vigilante and anti-hero. That's the whole gist of the story. How many times do you have to remake it? Or Superman. Alien comes to Earth, has super strength due to his, alien DNA and our planet. How many different ways do you have to remake this? It's one story that you're beating to death like a dead horse. You just don't want to let it go because we can remake it half a dozen times. That's my issue with this stuff. Otherwise, I have no bone or beef to pick with any of them. It's just that I'm sick and tired of them. As much as I love, reboots and that, it's just lazy. It's, like I said, the network's just trying to cash in on nostalgia and not wanting to think for themselves. Come up with some new ideas, use some creativity, stop milking what was already here. That well is run dry, hence why it ended in the first place. Either the ratings went downhill, it was a flop, or the actors just didn't feel like doing it and they half-assed their performance. That's what happens. But you never really get to understand that. But that's my beef with reboots and remakes. That honestly is. Okay, why do I hate Teen Titans Go? It's not that bad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. My beef with Teen Titans Go is epic at this point. I think it's a continuing battle between good versus evil that will never end. We're like two sides of the same coin here. My beef with Teen Titans Go is that I enjoyed the original. And I'm not that big a fan of DC properties. I am not a fan of Batman, nor am I a fan of Superman, or pretty much any of the DC properties. I like Green Lantern, I like Mr. Freeze, I like the Flash to a point, so I like some of the characters. With the original Teen Titans, I liked the premise that it had. It was a story that, while dark and more grittier than most of the stuff that was on Cartoon Network at the time, it was entertaining because it had a continuing storyline. With Teen Titans Go, everything is summed up in 15 minutes or less, basically. So you started off with, I'll just use the infamous Waffles episode again, because that was literally the breaking point for me that I couldn't give a rat's ass anymore about the show. So, in the episode, Beast Boy and Cyborg are talking by saying waffles the entire time. Waffles, waffles, waffles is how they're communicating. The other three Titans, Robin, Starfire, and Raven, were captured by Brother Blood and are being held hostage until he gets the codes to access Titan's Tower. Realizing that Beast Boy and Cyborg, who are now basically very deep into this game that they're playing of waffles, continuously say waffles, 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 even as they're being tortured. And Raven, Starfire, and Robin decide to do the same thing, much to the annoyance of Beast Boy and Cyborg then at the end of the episode, and Brother Blood, basically, in general, who just gives up, says, that's it, I'm done, and leaves. They managed to defeat him and everything, but it's like, it was an easy win. I didn't like the episode because Cyborg and Beast Boy got pissed off because Robin, Starfire, and Raven were literally doing the same thing that they were doing the whole episode to save the day, and they're mad because they ruined the game. It was a game that you shouldn't have been playing in the first place, It's a game that you shouldn't have done in the first place. And this is why I hate Teen Titans Go. It has nothing of the solace that the original had. The original had heart. It actually had feeling to it. People and characters actually got along with one another. If Cyborg had a question, or if Cyborg was curious about something, he investigated it. Now it's pretty much, I don't really care, let's go party and breakdance somewhere. Or with Beast Boy, it's, I'm just going to go and act kind of stupid and try to be this, alpha male that I'm really not. That's my beef with this series. It just took everything that the original had, beat it over the head, buried the remains, and then just to rub salt in the wound, just peed all over the grave. Just completely marked the grave, and that was the end of it. That is my beef with Teen Titans Go. Why I don't like it. There's nothing else I can really say. That is my main beef with Teen Titans. When they came out with that movie, I sounded off so much on that, I was starting to lose my voice afterwards. So, yeah, that's why I hate Teen Titans Go. To me, it's a slap in the face to the fans of the original series and the people that stood by Cartoon Network for so long to begin with. Okay, what don't I talk about and why? Politics and religion. I will not talk about those two things on any of my videos. I will not talk about them on Andrew Rants, reviews, theories, or my podcast. Never. The reason why is because, one, I don't understand them enough, and I don't want to make an ass out of myself by talking about them, and two, I don't want to offend anybody. Because with both of those topics, from what I've observed, if you say the wrong thing, you tend to offend somebody. So I choose to play the neutral card. I don't know enough about it to say anything about it, and I don't want to offend you by trying to say something about it. That's why I keep my mouth shut on those two topics. So if you ever want me to talk about something, politics and religion are two things I will never touch. If I talk about a topic like for the podcast about that Japanese government thing with the keeping of the animation cells from anime titles, that was anime related because that affected fans of genres and fans of shows and an art form. It did not affect political views or anything else. So there are topics that I can tiptoe around because they qualify and they fall under the realm of other actual topics. But as far as 100% me talking about them, it'll be a cold, cold, cold day in hell before I start doing that. Okay, how come we never see your face? Well, besides right now, I enjoy my anonymity. I enjoy my privacy. And honestly, I didn't have that great of a working camera on my laptop. I picked up a camera on eBay for about $7, and believe it or not, I'm actually really well impressed by this thing. I would almost do a review video on it, but I'd have to record it with my tablet camera. So, yeah. But that's why you don't really see my face. Besides the fact that I enjoy my anonymity, I enjoy my privacy, honestly, I never had a decent camera because the one that I have on my laptop sucks. It's no offense to it. I mean, it probably was good for when it was designed or how it was designed, but it just doesn't work for me. That being said, that's why you never see my face, because I never just actually record a video. I just do the audio and call it a day, because, that's how I do things. Okay, what is my favorite trading card game? Yu-Gi-Oh! I have like over 1,000 cards of it. I have almost as many Magic the Gathering cards. I'm almost sure of it by now because I was getting packs at the Dollar Tree. But Yu-Gi-Oh! 100% favorite trading card game. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. What is my ideal Pokemon team? Both legendaries and regular. Ooh, this is a good question. My best Pokemon team, or yeah, how's it? Yeah, sorry, my ideal Pokemon team. For regular ones, I'd have to have Pikachu. Regardless, Pikachu would be on my group for regular. I would probably have Pidgeot, Charizard. I would probably go with Sceptile. Scizor, and either Muck. How many am I up to here? Pikachu, Pidgeot, Charizard, Sceptile, Scizor or Muck. And the final one. Ah, crap. Who would I put in my final team here? That's actually a good question. It has to be a regular one. Can't be a legendary. I know there's a good one because I always like the. No, I have a fire type though. Well, no, you don't have to throw that one in. It'd be three. It would be three types. Blaziken. Either Blaziken or Infernape, I would probably throw in. So yeah, I'd kind of lean towards the fire type, but I'd still have Pikachu. I'd have either, like I said, a Scizor or a Muck, Sceptile, Pidgeot. That would be my ideal team. I mean, I would throw a Heracross in there, but Heracross is a bug type, and honestly, it's really only good against certain types of Pokemon. And if I'm doing an ideal team, I don't really battle that much with bug types. I more or less stick to the elemental types like water, air, lightning, stuff like that. I would go with a ghost type, and honestly, I would probably throw Gengar in there maybe, because I mean either Haunter or Gengar, because both of those would kick ass. I mean Haunter's really neat, and Gengar is literally a giant ball of fun. I mean, come on, he's invisible, he's cute, in a creepy sort of way, but still. For legendaries, Rayquaza, Entei, Latios, Mewtwo, Regirock, and I'm trying to think of the last one. Oh, Zekrom. That would be my legendary team. So, yeah. That just tells you how much I've played Pokemon in the last few years. Okay, how come you don't review current movies and shows? You know, things people can see now. Probably because I haven't seen them to review them. I don't go to the movies that much. I don't have the extra money to go to the movies, and honestly, it's not really worth my time if the thing's going to come out on DVD in a few months later anyway. So, I mean, especially stuff that comes out in the summertime, they will try to push those things out to get a release before Christmas. So, what's the point of me going to waste the money to see a movie when I could probably just get the DVD, watch it at home, then if I don't like it, I can get rid of the DVD and get my money back. Versus I go to the movie, I don't like it, and I'm out the money for not only the ticket, but having to get something to drink, because I can't sit through an entire movie and not have something to drink. It's physically impossible. Food I can sit through without, no problem, but having something to drink is next to impossible. As far as reviewing like TV shows and that, I don't have cable. I don't have cable anymore. My grandfather gave it up 2 years ago because it got expensive. So we don't have cable anymore. I have a Roku player. So we don't have a way to watch the newer stuff, and if we do, I have to wait a week anyway, and by the time I've seen it a week later, nobody's gonna care anymore what I have to say because everybody else has already talked about it. So that's why I talk about things that I know about. And as far as like shows and that, there's really nothing I can do about reviewing it. Now, yes, I could watch clips online and stuff like that, and I have talked about some newer stuff because I've seen clips for it, but I haven't seen like an entire episode because I don't have a way to watch an entire episode. But honestly, I mean, I can review stuff that's current, but it's mostly just clips, which I watch enough of the clips to give me a general idea of the show. But as far as like movies and TV shows, I don't have cable, and I'm not going to waste the money to go to the movies when the movie that's playing is going to come out on DVD. It's not worth it. But as far as like TV shows, I don't have cable, but I can watch clips of it and give a general idea afterwards. But it has to be something that I either like or isn't going to be done to death by half a dozen other channels. Is there any YouTuber I can't stand? Matthew Patrick from Game Theory. I can't stand him. Honestly, he's really the only one right now that I can't stand. And the reason why stems from one of his film theory videos with The Simpsons. Because he claims that he does research on a lot of stuff, but yet a quick Google search and a couple articles on any website can easily poke holes in his theory that you could pretty much drive a semi-truck through. So, yeah, he's the one YouTuber I can't stand. I watch his stuff because, as Sun Tzu once said, to know your enemy is to know yourself. So, there is that, but yes, I just can't stand the guy. Why do you answer every comment from a viewer? Well, you took the time to write it, so why shouldn't I take the time to respond? That's sort of insensitive on my part. And I just found out this morning, ironically, that not all of the comments apparently I've been answering, because I found a couple that I didn't answer from a couple weeks ago because I didn't get a notification from YouTube saying, hey, you have a comment here, or it just got hidden under 6 other ones. So I try my best to reply to all of them. I usually look through my videos to make sure that, like, okay, so-and-so left a comment, and reply. Or I'll check the Creator Studio and I check the Community tab. So there is that. I do try to respond to all of them because, like I said, you took the time to leave a comment, which means that you thought I did something either wrong, right, or you have a question or a concern or just something you want to say, and why shouldn't I take the time to reply back? That seems insensitive if I wouldn't do that. Seriously, it seems insensitive. Do I really do that Professor Klump voice on my videos? Yes, I do. Professor Klump's here, and once again, Klump is in charge. Because Klump's always in charge. Because I'm in charge. I mostly watch too much of The Nutty Professor to do that half a dozen times. So, yes, I do the Professor Klump voice on my videos. Nobody else is doing it. I'm a one-person act, basically. So, yes, I do my own Professor Klump voice. What would I do if I had $1 million? Well, let's see, I could just hum the Bare Naked Ladies song, but then I'd probably get copyright strike and sued. But honestly, I always figured this out. What would I do if I had $1 million? Besides giving some of my friends some money, because honestly, I would probably want to share the wealth a bit, I would invest some of it so that the money wouldn't run out. Take care of my student loans. Get a better vehicle for my mom, my grandfather, and I to use. Probably make some repairs or get a completely new house. Or I mean, like, just like a one-floor type thing, not a McMansion or something. But honestly, I would probably just mostly give some of my friends some money because I would want them to have like a little nest egg in case something were to happen. I'd want to be nice. But yeah, that would be what I would do, I guess. Favorite video game genre? Action-adventure, RPG, tactical to a point, strategy to a point, first-person shooter, third-person shooter, fighting games, stuff like that. Favorite anime series? Way too many to name. Honestly, way too many to name. I should honestly just start, once again, keeping a list of, these are all the anime series that I've seen. I actually did have a list, and I lost it, so I have to go back through it now and remember which ones I've seen again. But honestly, way too many of them to name just one particular series. So, yeah, way too many. Favorite day of the week? Saturday. I always liked Saturday when I was growing up because my grandfather and I would go to flea markets and yard sales together. Saturdays was the one day of the week when time just seemed to go the slowest. Like, I could do anything I wanted to do on a Saturday and it didn't feel like I was wasting any time at all. Versus Sunday, because every time I wanted to do something on a Sunday, if it took 30 minutes to do, it felt like it took 3 hours to do. Because time just completely evaporated. There were times, though, when a Sunday went slow, but that was because I was looking forward to something that probably was coming on TV that night, or something that was going to happen the next day. But otherwise, yeah, Saturdays are my favorite day of the week. So a lot of people say Friday, but honestly, Saturdays were my favorite day of the week. Fridays is a close second, though, because my mom and I would always watch TGIF together on a Friday night, have some snacks, and make a nice little, day out of it. But, yeah, definitely Saturday is my favorite day of the week. Beyond a doubt. Why did I start my podcast? Honestly, it was because of the CU podcast. I was listening to it half a dozen times, and I finally just thought, you know what, I could do this. I could do a podcast. I had a microphone. It was a really strange USB one that I picked up to do karaoke on my Guitar Hero World Tour game. And I'm like, I could record, audio with this, because I had already done it with my, I did comedy before I started actually doing decent things on YouTube. Then I got rid of all the comedy because I got, really piss poor views. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I could do a podcast. So I just found a bunch of topics the one time during the week, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to record it on a Saturday night, and that's what I did. And 2 years later, now the rest is history, I guess. As it says. What is the one thing I want to do? Honestly, I would love to be able to just sit back, relax for an entire year. Not have any cares in the world, not have any worries, problems, or dilemmas to bug me. Just sit back, relax, and do whatever I want to do. That is honestly what I would like to do. Just be able to relax and do whatever I want to do. Unfortunately, it's never going to happen, but it's, wishful thinking, so to say. Have I ever traveled? Yes, actually I have. I have been to New York. I've been to New York City. My uncle, my mom, and I went. I have been to Washington, D.C. My mom and I went there for my birthday the one year. I have been to the western part of my state. I live in Pennsylvania, so I've been out to Harrisburg. That's about as far west as I've gone. At least to the best of my knowledge right now. And I have been to New Jersey. So, yes, I have traveled. I have just not traveled far. One day I hope to be able to go to Japan. That's on my list. It's on my bucket list, but it's never gonna happen. But it'd be nice. Okay. Was I ever in love? Stupid question, I know. It's not what this. As somebody once told me, there's no such thing as stupid questions, only stupid answers. Yes, a long time ago, I was in love. I am not gonna deny that. I honestly thought the world of her. She was the first thing I thought about in the morning and the last thing I thought about at night. Unfortunately, it was a one-sided love. She didn't feel the same way about me that I did about her. I would have basically traversed the world 1,000 times just to get her to smile, basically. But it was a lost cause. We stayed friends for the longest time, then we stopped talking to one another. Honestly, I don't even remember why anymore. But yes, I was in love once, long time ago. Honestly, she was everything to me. Like I said, if she was hurt or upset, I felt, bad. If she was happy, I was happy. I would talk to her almost all the time after I got out of school. I reconnected with her on Facebook. We were texting each other for the longest time. It was honestly that was really nice, but it just didn't work out. She didn't feel the same way that I did. But yeah, I was in love once, long time ago. Who are some of the inspirations to do your videos? I don't really think I have any inspirations to do my videos. I mean, I could say that the Angry Video Game Nerd inspires me to do my Andrew Rants videos, because I figured if he could yell and scream about video games that sucked, I could complain and bitch and rant about things that really blow, if you really want to go that route. I know the CU podcast inspired me to do my own podcast. Review-wise, I would say probably Linkara, From Atop the Fourth Wall, the LGR guy, and Bolt Matrix. As far as my theory videos, I really don't have anybody that inspired those, because I don't do them that much. But yeah. Yeah, that's about all I could say on that one. Why do you censor yourself in your videos from time to time? This is what I actually remember answering a while back. I was in a comment. I'm allowed to swear. I want to first off get that out of the way. My mom doesn't like the fact that I swear, but I'm 29 years old. I have brought this point up to her many a times before. I am 29 years old. And studies have actually shown, and you can Google this, that people that swear are slightly more intelligent. Now, no, that does not mean that I'm saying go out and start cussing up a blue streak. You shouldn't do that. I do it when it fits the mood. Occasionally, it slips out. Otherwise, I really try to rein it in, keeping a control on what I say and what comes out of my mouth. But from time to time, I will, if I feel it coming or I don't want to say it, I will self-censor myself. I used to do it along with some of my classmates all the time in school. We would always go bleep, bleep, bleep whenever we wanted to say something. We weren't technically swearing, so the teacher couldn't say anything to us. And that went on for the longest time. It just stuck in my head. But yeah, from time to time, I will self-censor myself, mostly because there are younger people that do watch my videos, and I don't want to end up getting a slew of angry letters from parents and emails and comments going, "You have corrupted my child." I don't need that. I really don't need that. So yeah, that's why I censor myself from time to time. What is my favorite food and drink? Drink would be Dr. Pepper. Love Dr. Pepper. Always have, always will. Favorite food would probably be pizza. So, if you think about it, I'm like a college kid at heart. I love Dr. Pepper and I love pizza. Mostly pizza. Pizza is one of my favorite foods. Pizza, chicken fingers. So I like chicken, really. Chicken, shake and bake, chicken fingers, like fried chicken, like KFC or something like that. Pizza, spaghetti from time to time, things like that. So yeah, I know I don't really eat healthy, but who does anymore? Let's see. If you could make a video game, what would it be about? This would pretty much fall under the same category as the anime one. It would be whatever was on my mind. But honestly, I would probably go with an RPG or an open world MMORPG. Mostly so that I could create something that multiple people could get some fun out of. And because there are so few of them on these things, I would probably make it for Android devices like tablets and iPhones and smartphones, because they have so few decent games. You find a couple of them and you can tell which ones are the better ones because they get a high amount of views and a high amount of downloads, as long as they don't suck and glitch. Otherwise, yeah, I would honestly probably make an MMORPG or an open world type of game. Okay, so here are those were the 30 miscellaneous questions. These are the 40 questions from one of my fans, Capone Alderin, aka Cap. Because I did ask if there was a nickname so I would stop butchering your username, and you said I could call you Cap. So these are Cap's 40 random questions, which are still actually pretty good. So they do work out pretty well. So here you go, Cap. Here are your 40 questions, and I'm looking forward to answering these. See, which would I rather be, fairy or dragon, and what type? Probably a dragon, because I always like dragons. They're pretty cool. Fire-breathing or an ancient one. Like one that's extremely wise, far beyond his years, or just gained the knowledge over years, but is still powerful enough to, be a force to be reckoned with just in case. What is my favorite word? Well, if you ask my mom, she's going to say it's one 4-letter word that starts with an F, but I can't say that one. She'll yell at me. But honestly, free is one of my favorite words, because it means that, hey, I don't have to pay for it. Also, day off is a good combination of my favorite words. My wallet's not happy about it, but day off is a good word, as if it's hyphenated. What is hope? Hope, I would honestly believe, would be if, like, I'm really trying to I was trying to figure out a way to word this, but honestly, I don't know of a good way to do it without sounding really stupid. I always consider hope to be the guiding light that would always be there in case something goes wrong. You're having a bad day, or, a whole bunch of stuff is just going wrong, you still have hope. Pandora's box comes to mind, because Pandora, quickly closed the box back after opening it, leaving hope to remain. So, yeah, that is what I believe is hope. Honestly, I don't really have a complete answer as to what is hope. It varies from person to person to person. Because I could tell you what I think hope would be, which I basically just tried to do, and it could differ completely from, like, say, your mom, or your brother, your dad, or the neighbor down the street, the old person at a convenience store, what have you. So it's different for each person. I always feel that. Do I think vending machines will take over the world? They kind of already have, at least in Japan. I know there's like a whole bunch of them over there. You can get laundry in vending machines, coffee, tea, beverages, a whole mess of stuff. Yeah, I kind of think vending machines have taken over the world. It's going to come to the point where we can honestly just do, like, really quick shopping. Boop. Okay, like, I'm taking a train or a plane somewhere, and I'm at an airport. I need a new shirt. I need some shoes. Pop in your money or swipe your card. Tell it what you need, and it pops it right out for you. I honestly see that happening at some point. How long? I have no idea. I really don't. But yeah, I do see vending machines taking over the world. What is my favorite creature? Well, I do like dragons. Dinosaurs are pretty cool. Let's see, my favorite creature. That's a tough one, because I like dragons and I like dinosaurs. I also, dragons and dinosaurs. I'd have to go with those two. So dragons and dinosaurs. It's creatures, then, I guess, because I can't decide between the two. Toast sword or lava sword? I'll go with the lava sword, because then I can have a toast sword just by toasting some bread and sticking a stick in it. I'm assuming that you mean like a sword made of toast and a sword made of lava. I'd probably go with the sword made of lava, mostly because I could use that way more than the toast sword. The toast sword would probably get moldy after a while, would probably dissolve, get eaten, whereas the lava sword, unless I'm going up against water, or, yeah, mostly just water, it's going to go through anything. I've seen Volcano. Lava can go through anything. Let's see here. Do you have more luck or skill? Well, let's see. I doubt I have a lot of luck, and I know I'm not that skilled at a lot of things, so I really don't know of a good way to answer that one. I'd probably go with like a combination of the two, maybe a little more skill than luck, but I think it's kind of like a good 50-50 thing for me. Which would you rather ride, a 5-headed horse that has 6 legs, or a wolf made of nature? 5-headed horse that has 6 legs, or wolf made of nature? I'll go with the wolf made of nature. Mostly because I could probably ride in the air, in the water, on fire, and on land. So that would be a lot cooler than the 5-headed horse with 6 legs. I'm trying to even picture that in my head, and I don't see that horse moving very fast. What is my favorite legend / myth? I actually have two. One from a TV show and one from actual myth. My actual myth that I like is Pandora's Box. I just always liked it. That, Excalibur's another good one, but Pandora's Box has always been one of my favorites. As far as, no, I just, wow, would that qualify as a myth or a legend, Pandora? No, I guess Pandora's Box is a legend. I guess myth, I would have to go with probably Bigfoot, if I'd really want to go for like a myth. But my other favorite legend from a TV show would be from the Yu-Gi-Oh series, the legend behind Gearfried the Iron Knight. That Gearfried was a powerful warrior who was constantly afraid of his own power. So to keep it in check, he created a suit of armor and became Gearfried the Iron Knight. Eventually, he realized that his power would be needed again, and shed his suit of armor to become Gearfried the Swordmaster once again. It's one of my favorite myths / lore, I guess you could say. Or legend, I don't know. But yeah, those are kind of my two. Pandora's Box and The Legend of Gearfried. What is your favorite weapon? Sword. Flat out, I'm a fan of sword. Lightsabers, air blades, things like that. Always a fan of swords. Why are most of my YouTube friends girls? I have no idea. I could say charming personality? I mean, that would probably be about my best guess. Honestly, I don't know. I had the same thing when I was in high school. I had a lot of friends that were girls, at least a lot of acquaintances, but I had a few close friends. So, I mean, I got a lot of guy friends and a few girls that are my friends. So, yeah, I don't really know. Yeah. Okay, so this is one that kind of slipped through my radar for doubles. My favorite food, which I already said, was pizza. So, yeah, that one kind of slipped in. I forgot to double check that one. That was my bad. That one slipped through the crack. There's going to be one or two, you know. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Let's see here. If I were an element, what element would I be? Either air or water. Air because I could literally fly around and not have to walk everywhere, run everywhere. Or water because I could just like disappear into lakes, rivers, and oceans and just blend in. Well, probably those two. Or one of those two, anyway. Let's see here. Why do people fear the dark? The Vashta Nerada. And since you've probably never heard of Doctor Who, I guess I can explain. They are the piranha of the universe. No, people will always have an innate fear of the dark. Honestly, it goes back to way before either you or I were ever a dream in our parents' eyes. Honestly, it's just something that people will always be afraid of. Just an unbridled and unconscious fear of the dark. You can never really explain it, but I know people have tried. But, yeah, that's basically it. Why do I think birds fly? Probably because I never see a bird with a purse to take a bus. And the last time I saw a bird driving a car, they were singing a happy tune and were accompanied by a squirrel, or no, sorry, a frog, and what I'm assuming was a mouse. I gotta stop watching Nick Jr. Or well, yeah, when I was watching it anyway. Let's see here. Who is your favorite character in a video game? That's actually a good question. I played a lot of video games. That's Nightmare from Soul Calibur, I kind of want to say, because he mostly seems like that, you know, questionable person that I'm doing something for the reasons that I'm doing it, and then at the same time I'm doing it because I want to do it. So I'd probably go with Nightmare. Let's see here. Do you think I'm childish? No. I mean, a great person once said, What's the point of being grown up if we can't act childish every now and then? I don't think you're childish. Do you think I'm childish? I mean, I've been told I'm a lot of things, but I don't remember anybody ever saying I'm childish. So, no, I don't think you're childish. I mean, like I said, the great person once said it, there's no point in being a grown-up if you can't act childish every now and then. Minotaur versus Centaur, both with standard weapons of their kind. Now, let's see. Centaur would be the one with the horse's body and half human, and the Minotaur is bullhead human body. I'd go with the Centaur. It would probably have the speed advantage. Mostly because it could probably run a little faster than the Minotaur, because the Minotaur would be a little more bulky. So yeah, I'd go with the Centaur on that one. See here, why do I like dark, creepy things? Oh, no idea. I could say it's because that's just what you like. You find it interesting. I mean, I find a lot of things interesting too, but, you know, they interest me and I like them. Could just be your personality, something that you're drawn to, or just, you know, you just like it for the sake of liking it. It's just something that intrigues you. It's probably what I would say, but honestly, I have no idea. Why do I think people like sweet stuff? Because it tastes good? That's honestly my guess as to why anybody would like sweet things. They taste good. They smell good. Simple answer, but it's the best I got. I mean, why do people like sour things? You know, it's something that they enjoy. It's what they like. Okay. If I had a world, what would it be like? Oh, Planet Andrew is back. All right. So, if I had a world, what would it be like? Every corner would have a Dr. Pepper stand. There would be pizza on demand. Every channel would have anime. There would be perfect internet service throughout the entire world. No lagging. No loss of signal. Constant streaming of decent programs like all of my favorite anime. Wow, if I had a world. So many things. All the good foods that I like. All the wonderful things. Nobody would have to work. It'd be like Star Trek. We just have the synthesizers. So yeah, that would be my world. That would be my world. Dr. Pepper fountains, Dr. Pepper stands on every street corner. That's what I am bringing to the table when you come to Planet Andrew. And there's Dr. Pepper stands on every single corner of the world. That's what I like. That's what I like. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, that honestly would probably just be that. So yeah. Let's see. If I were another person for an hour, who would it be? Ooh. If I were another person for an hour. So I want to be a celebrity? Probably. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I could say, yeah, I want to be like another person for an hour. I mean, if it's only going to be for an hour, that would be a really interesting... I'm going to see this. I'm going to say it this way. If you could be another person for an hour, that would be an interesting thing to see how the other side lives. So, like, if you're a guy, you know, be a girl for an hour or something, or vice versa. Honestly, though, if I could be another person for an hour, I honestly wouldn't know who I'd want to be. I could choose a celebrity. I could choose a fictional character, maybe. Honestly, I wouldn't have an answer. There's like too many choices to choose from. Yeah, I really don't know. I wish I could have it. I actually wish I could answer that one, but I honestly don't know. Who would I be for an entire hour? Damn, I really don't know. Alright. Let's see here. So, which do I like more? Poison or an hour-long version of a bear hug? Are we talking poison from Final Fight, or are we talking poison that could kill me? Because if it's poison that can kill me, I go with the hour-long bear hug. Poison from Final Fight, though, yeah, screw it, both answers. I'd rather go with the hour-long version of a bear hug. I mean, technically, I'd probably get the same thing from poison, because, I'd be being trained. But, yeah, I'll go with the hour-long version of a bear hug. Let's see, what is true love to me? True love to me is two people that care for each other. It doesn't really matter what they are, who they are, what have you. True love, honestly, is they care deeply for one another. That their souls and their lives are intertwined by one another. Yes, I know it sounds kind of sappy, but that is what, that's what it is, basically. Yeah. So honestly, I would go with that. Definitely. So yeah, that's what true love is to me. Two people that care a lot for each other. See, what fight would I like to see? The White Ranger versus the Green Ranger. Finally put it to an end. Which one of the two is the strongest? Is it the White Ranger or is it the Green Ranger? Let's put it to bed. Finally, let's get it done and over with. Which one's stronger? Or even better, because this would be one that I know would probably get a lot of fans excited. DC versus Marvel. Let's have Iron Man, Captain America, and all the Marvel characters take on the DC characters and see which team finally comes out on top. Those would be two fights I would love to see. You kind of duplicated one of your questions. You're asking what my favorite food is the second time, and as I said, it slipped through my radar. Slipped through my thing, so I do apologize for that. It's pizza. Just wanted to get that out there. Let's see. What is the coolest thing I have ever seen? I saw a meteor shower. Long time ago. That I thought was really impressive. Let's see. Blizzard. No, I'm going to go with the meteor shower. The meteor shower was really cool. If I have to be, I keep trying to figure out if I can see another one, but it's never dark enough where I live to be able to see one without having some type of light screwing it up. And I'm not going to travel and traverse a whole bunch of places just to look at a meteor shower. What was my favorite character in a show? That's a good question, too. If we're talking real shows, don't really know. If we're talking, like, anime cartoons, I don't know in either one. It pretty much would depend on what the show is. I mean, if we're talking Hunter x Hunter, I kind of like Gon. Killua's a close second. If we're talking Dragon Ball Super, Goku hands down. If we're talking Naruto, always was a fan of Hinata. If we're talking Code Lyoko, I liked Aelita and Ulrich. Yeah, I honestly, it's way too many to name and pick one of my favorites. What is my favorite hairstyle? I'm gonna be honest with this one. See my hair? This is about the most of a hairstyle I ever do, is me just physically taking my hand and slicking my hair back a little bit. That's all the more I do. So I really don't know hairstyles. Other than like spiky hair, which I think is pretty cool, this is like the extent of what I know. I'm not hip with the times, unfortunately. And I trim my own hair, so I don't go to like a salon or anything. I don't go to a place that cuts my hair, because I'm not going to pay the absorbent prices on that when I can just do the same thing with a pair of scissors and a mirror at home for free. Because even though If I screw it up, there's a magic phrase. It will grow back. So yeah, I really don't know enough of hairstyle to pick a favorite, but I'd probably go with like spiked. I'd say maybe spiky. Somewhat. I mean, not like full spiky, but maybe like this. But yeah, I don't know enough about I don't know enough about hair to pick a style. I'm really sorry. If I could have anything, what would it be? Giant robot that I could pilot, take anywhere I want. That's what I want. Giant robot. Otherwise, I would probably just go with an endless supply of Dr. Pepper or a pizza tree. I know it's sort of a stupid answer, but I like pizza and I like Dr. Pepper. Which do you like more, the day or the night? I actually like the day a little more. Although nights around where I live are very peaceful. Very little traffic, very little noise when my neighbors aren't coming home drunk at 2 in the morning. It's very pleasant. I miss it so much when I have to do night shift and I'm working during the night and I have to sleep during the day because there's a lot of noise during the daytime. From cars blowing their horns in a small traffic jam, to deliveries getting made to the one business around where I live, the sounds of the trucks, construction vehicles when they're going back and forth. I live on a state road, so you're going to have all that. And it doesn't so much bother you during the day because you're usually doing something else, you can avoid it. But if you're trying to sleep, it makes it kind of difficult. So I'm going to go with day. Although nights would be a real close second on this one, because there are like a lot of cool things you could do at night, but I'm gonna go with days, mostly because you can hang out with people, you can see a lot of fun stuff, and it's just, I don't know, I'm just gonna go with daytime. Though I'm more of a night person with certain things, I'm just gonna go with daytime. What is my favorite plant? Marigolds, sunflowers, and it was on the tip of my tongue. My mom and I were talking about it a while back. Crap. She's gonna watch this. She's gonna put it down in the description. I know it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I did have like 3. I know marigolds and sunflowers are 2 of my favorites, and I know there's a third one, and for the life of me, I cannot think of it. Now I know she's gonna know it just like that. So, yeah, that's what I'll go with. Let's see. How do I go to other dimensions? I actually have a theory on that. So, I always theorized that dimensional travel is you going from one point to another. Now, a lot of people will go, well, it's time travel or just plain teleportation, but you're going through something else. I always thought of mirrors as a different dimension, like a reverse dimension of our own, since everything in it is reversed, the exact opposite. So instead of, let's say, having, let's say that night would be day, basically. So I always thought that if you figured out a way to supercharge a mirror, and I mean like pump enough energy into that thing, have some type of a surrounding around the mirror, and pump enough energy into it to create a portal that you could travel to another dimension. Like, let's say you surround a mirror in a frame of quartzite or quartz, or even amber, and you electrify that by pumping a tremendous amount of power into it. I'm just gonna pull a number out of thin air, 1.21 gigawatts. Let's go back to the future style here. And you go through the portal that's being made by the, amber being electrified and mixing with the mirror. That's my theory as to how you would travel to another dimension. I wouldn't recommend trying it because, well, let's face it, it's probably never going to work, but that's my theory as to how you would travel to another dimension. Now, I've never actually done it. I kind of wish I could. I'd like to see what other dimensional me's would be like, but Yeah, and yes, I know somebody's going to say, but you had one on your show. That was just me doing an impersonation. But truthfully, that was always my theory, is that if you could figure out a way to supercharge like a mirror or something that reflects the inverse of whatever you're looking at, like a screen or something, and electrify it and charge that with a tremendous amount of power, that it would theoretically create a gate. At least, that's always been my theory. Whether or not it would work, I don't know. What movie has most wowed me? Click. The Adam Sandler movie. I cried during it. I will admit it. I cried. It was good. Let's see here. Zombie Giant or Giant Goblin? Well, the Zombie Giant really wouldn't die, would it? Yeah, but the Goblin Giant would have access to a lot of goblin magic, so it might be able to kill the Zombie Giant. I'll go with the Goblin. What is a hero? And what is a villain? I'm just going to do a two for here. A hero is someone that's willing to do whatever it takes to save people that are in danger, regardless if it means the cost of their own life. But they don't always have to do that. A hero could just be somebody that could give like a coat or a jacket to somebody in need. Or a hero could just be somebody that shares a beverage to somebody that's dying of thirst. Or gives their food to somebody that's starving in front of them. That helps somebody with their groceries. That pushes their car off of a busy highway so they don't get hit trying to fix, something that's wrong with it if it broke down, or helps them, keep them safe while they're changing a tire or something. That, I believe, is a hero. A villain is somebody that is in it for themselves. What they want to do is basically, whatever they do, they want compensation for it. Or they'll want to have complete control over something. Like the world, for example. A supervillain is somebody like that. A regular villain is just somebody that's evil. That in their minds, what they want is the right way, everybody else is wrong. I would say that there are real life ones, but then again, to each their own. So I really can't say whether or not there are villains. I mean, there are people that are just mean and rude, but they're not villain-esque. If we're talking villains here, we're kind of going global scale. That doesn't mean that every single person, though, is a villain. Some could just be misguided. So, yeah, but that's what I think a villain is. What is your favorite song? I got a few. Feel Like Our Days, the opening to Icon, the opening to Hunter x Hunter, Kokomo by the Beach Boys. Crap, there's so many. I have like a whole bunch of them on my MP3 player, so basically everything on my MP3 player. Basically, I'll just go with that. Every song on my MP3 player, basically. Which would you rather fight, a full-grown black bear or a praying mantis that is 9 feet tall? I will go with the 9-foot-tall praying mantis, because the full-grown black bear could just take me out with one swipe of its claw and I'm done. The praying mantis, I at least have a chance. I'm not a fan of insects, but I could get underneath the praying mantis and possibly, and I do mean possibly, survive the onslaught of attacks and live to tell the tale. Otherwise, with the full-grown black bear, my ass is grass in like one swipe. What element can make the most beauty? Water. Water can crystallize itself to form ice. Water can change its shape to reflect the things around it. Water can always, especially if it's slowed down, make a beautiful silhouette of dancing. If you ever slow down or see a time lapse of like 1/1000th of a water droplet, it is amazing how it looks. Water can reflect things around you. So if something's already beautiful, water will reflect it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with water. And finally, what is the most powerful ability you can have? Super strength would be a good ability, but intelligence would be another one. But if we're going with like real life abilities, well, we're not probably going with. Let's just take this outside the realm of normalcy. Let's go outside the box for a moment. Super strength, flight, indestructibility, the ability to throw lightning, fireballs. Any of that stuff would be powerful, but the most powerful one, I think, would be able to control time itself. If you had the ability to control time, you would be unstoppable. Not only could you freeze time, escape around an attack, but you would be able to restart it, have the opponent go, where did they go, and then just attack them from behind. You could stop natural disasters from happening. You could reverse time to prevent a natural disaster from happening. You could speed up time to grow an entire forest of food or an entire area of land. Time would honestly be the most powerful ability that you could have. If you could control time, you could control anything. Nothing is outside of your reach. Not a thing. Okay. So that was the Q&A video that I promised. So yeah. I'm not going to make a habit out of doing recorded videos. Mostly because, like I said, this is a bit of a pain to do. This backdrop, though, is not permanent. So if I do more videos with my camera and me, the backdrop here is not going to be permanent. It's temporary. My mom helped me make this quick today. This is sort of what I'd like to call a half-assed job. She's not going to deny that. This is a half-assed job because we quickly scrapped this together. In fact, I thought this yellow piece of poster board would have fit this gigantic. This is one of those science boards like you'd have for science fairs. I honestly thought that would have worked. It didn't. I did think about like using one of my blankets, but I could just go with like a piece of cloth. Same board. The board works well. Let's go with like a piece of cloth or something and have it draped on that. I just open it up and boom. That's an idea. So yeah, don't get sold on this. This one's not staying. It's temporary. Before I go, there is something new I do want to show you. Now, a few podcasts ago, I mentioned a little buddy of mine. This buddy has been with me since I have been 5 years old. He's the one stuffed animal that I own that will basically be joining me in the great beyond because I do not feel right passing this down to anybody. This right here is my buddy Tyler. Not to be confused with my coworker or my former coworker with the same name. But this right here is my buddy Tyler. He is a little worn, as you can see here and here. The arms do need a bit of fluffing up and stuff like that. But this is my oldest buddy, and I kind of wanted to share this because a while back I did mention my oldest little buddy here. He has been with me since I have been 5 years old. I do not have any brothers or sisters. I'm an only child. So this, besides my imaginary friends growing up, was my oldest friend. I would basically sit with him. I'd watch TV with him. Literally same bed. I still have my stuffed animal from when I was 5. So if you think I'm like this big, scary person, no. I still have my stuffed animal from when I was 5, okay? I mean, I gave him, my mom and I found some of my old baby clothes we gave to a friend of ours because her niece was expecting, and this was in that, so we kind of just put it on him. I found a neat little pair of socks recently for him. They're kind of cool. But yes, this is my oldest buddy right here. His name is Tyler. I've had him since I was 5. He'll always be my buddy. Not to be confused with that My Buddy thing, that doll that came out. I did have one of those, but this right here, this is my oldest buddy, and always will be. So, yeah, see, he's waving. All right, put you off to the side, buddy. All right, so that's gonna do it for my Q&A video. Thank you so much for tuning in for it. Thank you so much for supporting me for the last 2 years via my podcast and my other videos, the Andrew Rants, Andrew's Theories, Andrew Reviews. I was going to say Andrew Unwraps, but I'm ending that one. I don't do enough to do that. But anyway, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to doing another one of these. So keep your eyes peeled on my channel. That's right, keep your eyes peeled here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel, because I will probably put out a special announcement video again to let you know that, hey, it's time for another Q&A video. But until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this is me signing off. Bye, everybody, and thank you so much for being a part of this.